back up. Of the notes that we did yesterday, anybody not here besides Caitlin? Caitlin was skipping.
But I'll come back
You
here.
gotta wait until you get back. Just wait and get to be all one. Okay, so everybody listen. Just like with arithmetic sequences, just like with arithmetic sequences and series, there were 4 different types of questions. Why? There are 4 different types of questions that are asked, okay? So here they are. 1, they're going to give you a sequence, and they're going to say, is this geometric? And if it is, find the next 3 terms, okay? So you've got to go through the process of taking the second term divided by the first term, and then seeing if that's what you multiply by every time. Pencil, let me guess. I'm almost out. I'm down to my last 3, and after this up, I gotta get me some more. Okay, so the second type of equation, it says, hey, this is a sequence. Find the equation, write the rule, and then find a given term. So that's pretty easy with these geometric sequences. The hardest ones were number 7 and 8. They did. Where they give you a few things, and you kind of have to work with the formula backwards to either find a sub 1 or find r, right? And I think y'all did pretty good with these. Those were the hardest ones. Now, that leads us to the last little section. And if you guys recall, back whenever we did arithmetic series, there was also a new equation. And what did I say? We're not going to use it, so we marked it out. And what did we do instead? When we had an arithmetic series, I didn't show you the new equation. We did what? Yeah, we used the arithmetic sequence formula, but what did we do to find the series instead of learning a new equation? We used that big E, right? Summation. We're going to do the same thing with these problems. However, I'm going to show you this equation, and I'll tell you why in a second. But a geometric series is, like we said with arithmetic series, it's a sum of a geometric sequence. And to find the sum, that means we're finding S sub n, right? So for example, if it was S sub 5 that we're finding, what that means is you're finding the first term, second term, third term, fourth term, and fifth term, and you're doing what with it? You're adding them all up. That's what this is about. So there is a formula that there's one thing about it that you need to be familiar with, even though we're not even going to use it. Okay? Here's the equation. It's a sub 1 times 1 minus r to the n power over 1 minus r. Now, y'all know all the pieces to this. Of course, n is the number of terms that you're finding the sum through. A sub 1 has been and will continue to be what? Your first term. And then r is what we talked about yesterday as the common ratio. Now, let me show you why I'm wasting time today just showing that equation, but we're not actually even going to use it. In the past, there has been a problem on the EOC test. You see, this formula is actually on your formula sheet. But there's been a question that we've seen on the EOC test that will say something like this. For the equation, S sub n equals 8 times 1 minus 1 half to the n power over 1 minus 1 half, what is the common ratio? 1 half. Okay? So the reason I'm showing you guys this is not because we're going to use it. I still hope that you want to use summation. Because summation, you can use it for both arithmetic and geometric series. Okay? And all you need is the equation. The arithmetic equation that we learned, that was a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d, and the geometric sequence, which is a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1 power. You use those same formulas, but you use summation. The only reason I want to show you this is because we've seen this question before on the EOC test. And if you've never seen the equation before, you might forget to go back and look for it. It's on the formula sheet. You don't have to memorize it. It wanted you on that EOC test that I remember from the past to identify what your R was. So we know the location of the R in the equation, or you know what equation to go look for, then it makes answering that question really simple. Okay? Now, ignore that. Let's go to the last type of problem, and that is, how do we find the indicated sum for each geometric series? And if you look at the question, it gives me a geometric sequence, and then it says, hey, find S sub 14. So you remind me, what are we going to do to find S sub 14? We're going to, not algorithm, we're going to use what equation?
That one you just showed.
Not the one above. We don't want to, I don't want you to use it. I want you to use the one we learned yesterday. Okay? I want you to use the a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1 power. But we're finding not one term, we're finding the sum through a term. So what are we going to use this equation with? Guys, what did we do when we did an arithmetic series? We did the big E. Remember where they define a variable? And we do from the first through the 14th term. So look, this is all I really need for this equation. What is a sub 1? What is my first term?
4.
So I put 4 here. Did they tell me R? No, but can I find R? How do we find R when the sequence is given to me? You take the second term and divide it by the first term. What is the second term? Divided by the first term, 4. What's 20 divided by 4? So right here, we're going to plug in a 5. And then, of course, we're going to replace n with what? X. You're not going to replace it with 14. We're not trying to find the 14th term. We're finding the sum through the 14th term. We want the equation because what's it going to do? It's going to plug in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th term in there. And it's going to do what with all those? It's going to add them all up. So type that into your calculator. Remember where to go? Alpha, window, number 2. Ian, put your phone away. Alpha, window, number 2. Get your notes out. Pay attention. Alpha window number 2, you're going to define your variable x from the first to the 14th term. And then here's the key. All of this has to stay inside your original parentheses. Don't move outside of them. Okay? So you're going to type in to your original parenthesis 4, open parenthesis, 5, close parenthesis, raised to the x minus 1 power. And then you're going to push equals. And what do you get? Big number. Let's have it. 6, 1, 0, 3, 5, 1, 5, 6, 2, 4. So that's 624, 515,000, 103 million, 6 billion. 6,103,515,624. That'd be good if that were money.
No kidding. That'd be a few bucks.
Alright, so there you have it. It's really simple. You don't have to use another formula. You use the same one. But when you're trying to find the sum, you're going to use summation. So look at the next problem. We're finding S of 20, right? S of 20. So first of all, I'm going to type in big E. Define my variable x from the first to the what term? 20th. For this geometric sequence, ready? A sub 1, 81. R, okay, I got to find that. R is second term. Be careful, what's the second term? Negative 27 over first term, 81. What does that break down to? Negative 1/3. So you plug negative 1/3 in here, raised to the x minus 1 power. And you literally just type it right in.
How you talking in?
Alpha, window, number 2, define your variable x from the first to the 20th term, and then inside, Brayton, inside the original parentheses, you got to enter all this stuff. Don't go outside the original parentheses. Okay, so that means you have to double parentheses, and that's okay. Put it all inside the originals. And then when you push equals, it's going to spit out what? 60.75. And that's it. That's how you do it. Very simple. So, I'm going to go through these real quick. These are the 4 types of questions you're going to have on your homework. First one, determine whether it's geometric. And then if it is, we'll give the next 3 terms. So, let's try it. Let's take the second term. What's the second term? And we're going to divide it by the first term. What's the first term? Well, negative 14 divided by negative 2 is 7. So grab your calculator and go like this. Negative 14 times 7. Everybody do this with me. Negative 14 times 7. Negative 98 times 7. So do these match? So let's keep it rolling. What's negative 686 times 7? Negative 4,802 times 7. Negative 33614, is that what you said? And then times 7 one more time. Negative 235,000, what'd you say? 298. And there's my next 3 terms. It's that easy. You check to see if it is a common ratio, and if it keeps following that, you find the next 3 terms. Look at number 13. This is the second type of problem you'll have. Write a rule for each sequence. So it already tells you it's a sequence. So let's find the common ratio. How? Negative 8, second term, divided by 2, first term. What's negative 8 divided by 2? So we've got everything we need now to write our equation. It's that easy. A sub n equals first term, 2 times r raised to the n minus 1 power. That's my rule. It's that easy. We can't simplify it. It's done. So what do we do next? Find a sub 7. So literally, I'm going to plug 7 in. So you go to your calculator. You go 2, open parenthesis, negative 4, close parenthesis, raised to the, and you can either type in 7 minus 1, or you can put a 6. Okay, because y'all know 7 minus 1 in your head. So 2, open parenthesis, negative 4, close parenthesis, raised to the 6th power, equals what? 8,196. Okay? Third type of problem. Use the given information to find an indicated value. So they tell me a sub 1. They tell me a sub 6. They want me to find a sub 10. Now remember, to write the equation, I need what pieces of information? To write an equation to find a sub 10. I got to know a sub 1. Do I know a sub 1? Yep. I got to know the common ratio. Do I know the common ratio? No. So to find a sub 10, I've got to know my common ratio. So I use what they've given me. Now we know we use a sub 1. What else have they given me? A sub 6. So what are we replacing with a sub 6? In the equation that we've been doing, what are we replacing a sub 6 with? Well, it is going to be 96, but where are we putting it? In a sub n spot, right? A sub n, a sub 6. A sub n, a sub 6. So a sub 6, 96, and that equals, what's the equation? A sub 1, do we know it? 3, times the common ratio, don't know it, raised to what power? N minus 1. Guys, a sub n was replaced with what? A sub 6. A sub n was replaced with a sub 6. N is, so you do 6 minus 1. Now we can solve. And y'all are smart. Y'all know how to solve this. We got to get R alone, right? So what do we got to move away from it? How do we move the 3? So what's 96 divided by 3? So 32 equals R to the 5th. Y'all remember how to get rid of that 5? You got to do root, but not cube root. We got to do 5th root. Y'all remember how to do that? Go to your home screen and type in a 5. And then do math. And y'all see that one that says x root of? Use that one. Math 5. And it will put the 5 right there in that root spot. 5th root of 32 equals what? So R equals 2. Now we can find anything, can't we? We can find anything. Any term they ask. What term did they ask? So I go a sub 10 equals a sub 1. What's that? 3. Times R. What's that? 2. Raised to the 10 minus 1 power. Or y'all could have substituted what there? A 9. Because y'all know 10 minus 1 is 9. So you type that all in. What do you get? And now we've answered the question they asked. 1536. And then the last one, we're finding the what? Series, the sum. All the way through the what? 18th term. So we're using what, y'all? We're using big E. And we're going from where? First to the 18th term. For this geometric sequence. A sub 1, 4, times R, let's find it. How do we find R? What's negative 12 divided by 4? So R is negative 3. So go type it in. Y'all ready? You've already done summation, right? Alpha window number 2. X from 1 to 18. And inside the parenthesis, 4, open parenthesis, negative 3, close parenthesis, raised to the x minus 1 power. Remember, leave it x. Do not replace x with 18. You're not finding one term, you're finding the sum through the terms. So you need that x there. You need the geometric sequence. So, pretty big number, isn't it? What'd y'all get?
Negative 387,420,488.
And there you have it. That's it. That's all there is to it. Okay? Those are the 4 types of problems you're going to have on this homework. 10 problems, 2 through 20 even. It's coming your way right now. Brayden, you okay?
Me? Yeah, I'm just tired. I got jet lag.
No.
I'm serious.
You flew 2 to 3 hours. You don't have jet lag.
No, I definitely have jet lag.
Oh my
I haven't recovered.
You really don't understand what jet lag is.
So tired, but she has jet lag too.
That's not jet lag.
Brayden has jet lag too.
It's not jet lag.
What's jet lag?
Jet lag is when you're like
Really
literally
tired.
changing crazy amounts of time zones.
Yeah, I got that.
You changed one time zone. That's not jet
enough
lag.
to be tired.
Oh my goodness. You guys are crazy.
Was there really one time zone?
Yeah, from Eastern to Central. Okay, 2 through 20 even is your homework. Jet lag. What?